Here is Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. There is a place where the sidewalk ends, and before the street begins, and there the grass grows soft and white, and there the sun burns crimson bright, and there the moonbird rests from his flight to cool in the peppermint wind. Let us leave this place where the smoke blows black, and the dark street winds and bends, past the pits where the asphalt flowers grow. We shall walk with a walk that is measured and slow, and watch where the chalk-white arrows go to the place where the sidewalk ends. Yes, we'll walk with a walk that is measured and slow, and we'll go where the chalk-white arrows go. For the children, they mark, and the children, they know the place where the sidewalk ends.
Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein is basically about the powers of imagination. Firstly, the poem is very mystical. It does not give us an exact representation of the place that Silverstein is telling us about, but shows us that it is at least a better place than the world that we currently live in. It is something very broad and requires much imagination to conceptualize. He is actually trying to tell us that children have much better imagination capabilities than adults and other people. He wants us to imagine like children and go away from this world and into a better place, which is basically where the sidewalk ends. The first line is a repetition of the title of the poem. It's meant to show emphasis. Line 2 depicts the street, a bigger place where there could be more possibilities for the limitless boundaries of imagination. Lines 3 and 4 shows us the better world that Shel Silverstein is trying to tell the readers about. Over there, the grass grows soft and white, and the sun is crimson. It depicts something almost impossible, where the grass is like snow and the world is covered in a sunset-like hue, making the world not too hot and not too cold, almost like Goldilocks conditions. Line 5 is the ending of the series of Us and There. These lines also depict other impossible things such as a moonbird and peppermint wind. This world that Shel Silverstein is trying to tell us about begins to sound like an awesome world, somewhat perfect. Lines 7 and 8 tells the reader to leave this place where the smoke blows black and also the place where the dark street winds and bends. These lines are a contrast to line 6, as they show revolting things rather than nice, cool peppermint wind. In line 9, the poet tells us to walk past a flower growing on asphalt, a small, beautiful thing in this current world that we are in now. The persona wants us to leave this current world and go to the place where the sidewalk ends, a better place for all of us where beauty is limited only to one's imagination. Line 10 tells us to go from our current world to the other world where the sidewalk ends slowly. The repetition of the word walk sets the tempo of this line. In lines 11 and 12, the persona tells us to follow arrows that are most likely drawn by chalk to this mystical place. This chalk links to the idea of children, which we'll be seeing later on in the poem. Lines 13 to 14 is a confirmation that they will follow the arrows and go to the place where the sidewalk ends, with the use of the words yes and will go. It shows that the persona really wants to get to this place no matter what. Lines 15 and 16 is the conclusion of the poem. It tells us that the children are the ones who know about the place where the sidewalk ends, and they are the ones who will lead us to it. They are the experts when it comes to leaving this world with the help of imagination. This poem is my favorite poem because it showcases the limitless boundaries of life and what mystical and better places we can get to just by using our imagination. The poem also has a light-hearted and happy feeling that with just some thought we can get to a better place through some very simple means. The central technique that the poet uses is imagery. Silverstein uses this technique to help us conceptualize that abstract, non-existent world where the sidewalk ends, and it contributes to the meaning of the poem by forcibly showing the reader through these pictures that he or she imagines in their minds, the amazing places one can get to with near childlike imagination. Thank you all.